the associated B7. We had our first race meeting with it yesterday at Essex Carpet Clash. We're in the UK, quite a competitive meeting that was. And how did we get on? Well, we learnt a couple of things. We learnt there's a fundamental problem with the B7. You can see, here's some of the racing we had. It was fast flowing track with some big jumps, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing out of the ordinary what you would expect a 110s car like the B7 to go round on.
We've got our leader coming on the straight now.
So what did we find? Well, first of all, let's come on to setup. We built this up as kit, and it was shocking. Brand new tyres, medium grip carpet. It was almost undrivable. After the practice, little tweaks for the first round, I nearly gave up and went home. Could not get on with it. What did we change? Well, a little bit like the B6.4, the shocks are standard are, well, I found they're hopeless, absolutely hopeless. The 2.5mm pistons and the oil package, etc., just did not work. It felt okay on the bench, the actual suspension felt okay, but it just didn't handle. I went back to my original 2mm shocks, lighter damping, and the car was really, really good. So in actual fact, we've done some tweaks. If people want to know what setup we ended up with, we're certainly not top line driver at all, but we can certainly give people some points on where we found or where we ended up going. There's certainly a lot more setup to do on this, but this was a very, very expensive car to race yesterday. And the reason for that, we bent the chassis. Don't know if you can see it on camera. That chassis, the kick up on the chassis, again, I don't know if you can actually see it on camera, it's actually twisted. The front of the chassis has twisted. Now, this isn't the fundamental problem with the car. It's a performance car. This bit here is so narrow that if you have a big crash, and we did have a big crash, we were flat out down the straight and we hit a stationary car. But it bent the chassis. We also bent the blue lower bulkhead, whatever you want to call it. We bent the wishbone, bent the wishbone pivot pin. The wishbone was obviously knackered as well. And I think I just put the spare chassis that I had on, because if you watched our build video, of course, we've got a dirt spec car, which was very handy. So we whipped the parts out of that kit, which we haven't built as yet. I think we've actually even bent some of the steering components as well, possibly the roll bar. I don't know. We've certainly done, I would estimate, I haven't even looked at the price of chassis. What a chassis is probably 60 quid. We've got bulkheads, we've got wishbones. We've probably done well over 120 quid's worth of damage, I would say, just from one accident, which is frustrating. But again, I don't think I can say that's the biggest problem with the car. That was just bad luck. I mean, the car was good. We ended up qualifying bottom of the A, which for us is pretty good. Happy with that. And we were holding our own. Even when we had a bent chassis, we actually run the whole final. We done this at the beginning of the A final, first leg of the A. You had 3 legs, so we were running with a bent chassis. Sorry, this chassis for the whole 3 legs, and we were still putting in some reasonable lap times, even for these old thumbs. But guys, we will come on now to the biggest problem with the B7, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard. If you're racing, you'll have heard of it. And it's all to do with the suspension round the back of here. We didn't do it yesterday, but there were several people that had damage from quite low speed accidents. And what it is, the C block, that pin there, basically it rips out of the C block. And we've worked out why it is doing it. It is actually a fundamental production problem. It's a production problem with the car. And what's happening is the chassis, we think probably because you haven't got a waterfall with these cars now, so perhaps the chassis is flexing and basically it's just pulling out. And what you do, you mess up the pin, you mess up the C block because it bends the aluminium on there, and we can now see why it does it. So we'll show you. And there's a fix. So I've just whipped off the left-hand side of the suspension. I've just took the fan assembly off as well, so you can see a bit better. Now, this is our problem here. Now, ironically, I think a lot of us thought this would be the weak part because it's not screwed through the chassis, like in the old B6 range. Could still be part of the problem, but it's obviously the flex part. But the problem is, can you see, guys, I can move that pin. You can't really see, but that pin moves by, we know, we measured it, by about just over 1 millimeters. So what's happening, basically what's happening is this pin is not locating into the pill at the front there by very much at all. And then of course you've got that little cutout there which helps you remove the pill. Basically it's just pinging out. You're probably getting a little bit of chassis flex. It's not really seated into the pin there, and it just pops out. But of course it ruins your race. Chances are it damages this C block. Game over. And with spares being not particularly readily available, and it's not the sort of spare part you hold, usually meeting over. So fortunately we do have a spare part, and we didn't do this yesterday, we just bent the damn chassis. But there is 2 fixes. One's to get a longer pin. We believe, haven't had it confirmed, believe the later relation of kits will have the correct length pin, which is, the magic number is 50.75. And they're about 1.25 mil, 1.5 mil shorter than that in the kit. I think they're 40. I think they're 49 point something in the kit. So they're too short. You can see they're just too short. So the temporary fix is, what people are doing is they're putting a spacer or a blob of glue or something inside the rear pill to push the pin forward so it's fully located in there. Because this is where all your pivot action, if you hit something, if you can imagine on this rear wheel here, if you hit something, the force is always, more often than not, it's going to pull it backwards. So it just rips out of there. So if you've got one of these kits, check that on your car before you do any racing. I have not done any of the gluing parts as yet, or got the longer pins, but that is certainly something we're looking at today. It's Monday, we were only racing yesterday. I want to get this video out as soon as possible to let people know. I'm sure a lot of people already know of it anyway, but people do seem to be a little bit not aware of this problem. And I wasn't aware of it until we went into the meeting yesterday. So that is the way to fix the inherent problem, or certainly the first inherent problem that we've found with the B7. So I hope you liked that. Click on the old subscribe button, click on the bell notification malarkey. We need all the help we can get now. We've bent the chassis on this, so all those little subscribes, the views, just helps the channel grow a little bit, and we've now got to find some money to buy new chassis and parts for that, so we can build up the D car and do a video on that.